Alrighty, so we have the 7-year EZAs, and today we are going to be looking at the best teams for each of the characters. I think this is really important to go over because I'm sure a lot of you are excited for these characters, and you don't know where you're going to be wanting to run Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta as well as the Tech LR Gods. So, thankfully, there's only 2 characters that we have to go over today, and we'll be going over various teams ranging from the best options to teams for long events and teams for short events. So, keep in mind that every event is going to be different, so there is not just a one-size-fits-all setup for both of these characters, but there are going to be teams that work out very well for them. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the LR Super Saiyan 4s. Okay, so believe it or not, what we are going to be doing here is running, just in case maybe you're missing some of these LRs, we're going to be looking at their own team in specific. Now, this team could probably be shuffled over to the Vegito-led team because of the Fused Fighters category, but what we're going to do is just look at them individually on their own leader skill, because I think that this actually could be a very viable setup to run 2 of these guys. So, getting started, we have our good friend, the Super Saiyan 4s. Now, one really good thing about this team is it's going to give you access to the categories are going to be GT Heroes and the Fused Fighters categories, so these are going to be very good. Now, with what the setup we'd want to run, depending on the event, I think in short form content, things are going to be looking a little bit different in terms of like the way that you want to do things. I think that running this guy is a really good option. GT Super Saiyan 4 Goku works very well. The new LR Gods obviously are going to fit in very well on the team. I think Gotenks can work fine, and then you could potentially run, let's just say you're missing the year 10 LR characters. I think that running Tech Gogeta could work very well, and then physical Gogeta from Dragon Ball Super can work. I think this guy, STR Vegito, can work out very well, and then we are kind of TBD on a few EZAs that could potentially happen during the rest of the 10th anniversary, but I'm not going to discuss on things that we do not know yet. Looking around here, I think that this team is going to be a little bit limited, but I think it is at least worth noting that you should be looking to run them on a different setup, but I at least want to start with their own team because I think that this one could work out pretty well for you, and this is just a break glass of in case of emergency. You don't have either the 10 years, you decided not to coin or Memorial Stone them for some reason, but this is just in case that you don't have them. So let's move on to the next setup here, which is going to be obviously led around the Tech Vegito leader skill. I think that this is obviously going to be one of the best teams for them. So the categories that we are going to be looking for are Pure Saiyan, that's Super Saiyan's dummy, Pure Saiyans, we're going to be looking for Earth Protecting Heroes, and then last but not least, we are going to be going to Fused Fighters. Now, when it comes to the setup for these specific teams, things do look a little bit different. We go to the partial match button here, and we are going to set it up as follows. Now, for short content, right, things are going to look a little bit different than what it would for long content. So, let's go ahead and get started first with the leader, and that is going to be Tech Vegito. You guys know him, you love him, he's one of the best characters in the game easily. When it comes to short form content, I would run Broly as well as Beast. I think that this team is going to work out very well for you with dam introduction and team protection, and then you are going to be running the year 7 LRs, if I can find both of them. They like to run away from me. I think that this team is going to work out very well, and then you have a bit of a free space. I think AGL Gogeta works very well. Honestly, for short content, this is probably just the best team in the game, and you're going to be able to get away with running it very efficiently. You're going to be able to do a lot of different things, but let's just say, for example, you're missing AGL Gogeta or you're missing Beast Gohan, or you want to go to long form content. I think slapping Gotenks on the team is a very good option. For long form content like the new Red Zones, I honestly think Namek Goku is really good. Grade 8 Vegeta can fit very well into these spots. Obviously running AGL Gogeta, if you want to have him, you could toss him on the setup. I think he works very well. For short form content, you can run AGL MUI. You can even run Super Saiyan 4 Goku with the support to get the most out of the GT Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. If you want to potentially look as well, I think Evolution Blue Vegeta works very well, and if you want to run something for the battle-hardened formidable foes, I think what you could potentially do is run a setup like this, where you bring Beast Gohan, you bring Goku and Frieza, and then last but not least, you bring the AGL or the LR4s themselves. So I think on the Vegito-led team, this one is going to work out very well. This is definitely one of the best teams in the game right now, all things considered. But if you want to go with like the optimal setup, in my opinion, what is the best team in the game right now, it is going to look something like this. You're going to take him off, you're going to put AGL Gogeta on the team, you're going to smack Gotenks on the team, and then the last spot is either going to go to Scouter Vegeta here, and or going to go to Broly, it's going to go to Beast Gohan. Really right now, these 5, or Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, I really genuinely think this is probably just the best team in the game right here, because you're going to have that short form, versatility. You're going to have that long form versatility with this team because almost every character here is stacking in some way or another, and it's going to just work really, really well together. So for the LR4s, that is how this team is going to work. I think it's going to be able to work for you very well. Now let's focus a little bit more on the LR gods. So obviously we can just start with the best team for them, and it's going to just be this one, right? It's copied and pasted over. I think that this team's going to work very well. So keep in mind, if you want to just take a screenshot of this team, this is going to be one of the best in the game, and depending on the event, I think you could easily replace Super Saiyan 2 Gohan just with somebody of your choosing, and it's going to work just fine. So moving along, let's go ahead and look at the leader skill specifically for the LR gods. Now, this is going to be power beyond Super Saiyan, and if we go down here, it's going to be movie hero. We put this on partial match, and then we go ahead and look and see what we have. So first and foremost, we have you, right? This team is actually not going to give us access to Vegito, so that is going to be a little bit trickier, but nothing that we can't work around, right? Like as you guys can see, boom, we're already done, right? This team works very well. If you don't have Gotenks or you don't have Gogeta, you can run the Super Saiyan trio. They work very well, right? You can run Family Kamehameha. They have their usage in battle hardened formidable foes. They work out pretty well, right? You could put Broly on this team. You could run Evolution Blue Vegeta. You could put Tech Gogeta in this spot, right? You could run AGL Broly if you want. Like, there's just a lot of different ways that you could set up this team right now that I think actually work really, really well together. And that is what makes these units so good. They just have that versatility. Looking at sort of like the optimal setup for this without running like a 250% leader skill, I think you're best doing Gohan. I think you're best bringing the fours themselves, kind of running them together. I think Beast Gohan is going to be one of the best characters on this setup, running Broly and then running Gotenks. I think this is probably the best setup if you are missing both of the 10th anniversary LRs, and I like this one especially for short form content with Beast and Broly. But if you're looking for more of like a character that's going to be a little bit more beneficial over longer content, you could potentially go to Tech Gogeta for his Scouter, this character for his standby, right? You know, you bring these guys for extra support and stuff like that. They also have a standby, but there's just a lot of different ways that you can run this team if you want to run like a Broly rotation. Broly is going to be missing access to his domain in this case, so it is going to be a little bit trickier. So maybe if you really wanted to get risky, you could do something like this and get some super high damage output. That would work out pretty well. And then somebody else that I forgot to mention that we could potentially put on this team is going to look something like this. I think this is going to probably be the most optimal setup for the LR Gods leader skill. This one is obviously going to work very, very well, but that is not all, right? We still have a few more leader skills that we have to go over. Let's go ahead and look at the last team that I want to talk about today. Okay, so very similar to the Vegito team, I want to talk about the Gogeta-led team for these characters as well. One thing that you are going to be missing on the Gogeta-led team, and honestly, I think this one is probably just the best overall one in the game right now, because of this, they're going to be under Gogeta's 220% leader skill. This is going to be, right now, in my opinion, the best team in Dokkan, so let's get into it. We have Gogeta himself, right? We have Tech Vegito himself. These two are obviously going to work very well together. You guys know how the 10-year fusions are. Next up, we have the LR Gods, you know, turn 1 invincibility, turn 4 invincibility, all of that fun stuff. The same thing is going to go for the LR Super Saiyan 4s. You guys know how well these characters are going to be designed and perform in content. Now with these last two spaces, this is where things do get a little bit dicey, but right now for the optimal best team in the game setup, in my opinion, it is going to be Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku, because he transforms into Super Saiyan 4 and is going to be able to hold it down for you very well to support Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Going to be a perfect slot 2 partner, perfect slot 1 partner, whatever you need. He takes away supers and provides a crazy amount of support that just makes Gogeta look twice as good. So you're going to want to make sure that you have him on the team if you have him. And then last but not least, I think the next spot is going to come down to 2 characters, and that is going to be either Scouter Vegeta or Gotenks. I think right now Gotenks is going to be it, and here you have it. I think right now this is the best team in Dokkan, just because of the 220% leader skill, going to the best units in the game, and also going to a character here like Vegito. If we look at the bonus for this guy, it's going to be going to a fusion, right? Or it's, I believe, why do I always forget what his 220 is, right? But either way, Vegito is on it, right? So 220% for Vegito, 220% for the LR Gods, 220% for the Super Saiyan 4s, 220% for Gotenks, right? Being on fused fighters and stuff like that. This guy is stupid. He's one of the best characters in the game, or this team is easily right now, maybe not easily, but like easily one of the best teams in the game. So there you have it, right? These are going to be the best team builds for both of the characters here. The gods, the 4s, they work very, very well together and can do a lot of different things. Kind of covering the holes that the other two have, right? Specifically like with the turn 3, I think is where things are going to be the most tricky. But this is where Gotenks, this is where Super Saiyan 3 Goku's going to work out very well with his dodge and stuff like that. If you want to potentially go where it's like turn 3, you're in trouble, I think one thing you could do is put Broly here, because he's going to be able to help you out turn 3. Somebody like AGLUI Goku would be very good for turn 3, especially if it's his first appearance, but things can get a little bit dicey with that setup. But there you guys go, the best teams for both the 7-year anniversary LR EZAs. Have fun running these characters, and if you need any help with your team building, go ahead and join the Discord. The link is in the description, and if it's expired, let me know, and I can update it in the comment section below. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. Don't forget to leave a like if you did, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you all in the next one.